Okay, so this is Open WebUI, and right now I have two models to choose from. So basically these models are from Ollama, and Ollama is the native backend or inference of models for Open WebUI. So that means when you download an AI model via Ollama, the model should be available in Open WebUI. And that's of course assuming that you have enabled the server feature. But personally, I'm not a big fan of Ollama, and I prefer to use LM Studio because it is just a bit more intuitive, and I happen to have these models ready to be used on Open WebUI. But the question is, how do you bring the models from LM Studio into Open WebUI? So let me show you how you can do it. First, let's go back to LM Studio. And here I'm using the version 0.4.1, which is a bit different than the previous version. But hopefully you can still follow this tutorial regardless of the version that you are using. Now let me just close this and let's navigate to developer. And we have to start the server. You can click this toggle. And there you go. So the server on LM Studio has been started, and we can start connecting LM Studio with Open WebUI. Okay, let me just minimize this. And now on Open WebUI, you can click Profile. Let's navigate to Admin Panel, go to Settings, and then click Connections. And here we have to add an API URL to Open WebUI so it can get or load the model from LM Studio. Now, intuitively, I actually want to add the URL via this section because after all, Ollama and LM Studio are kind of similar. You can run models via these inferences. But apparently it wasn't the case. So you actually have to add the base URL via this section. So it is LM Studio is considered to be external even though it is running locally on your computer, but that's not a big problem. Anyway, here on this section, OpenAI API, you can click this plus button to add a connection. And then here in the API base URL, you can type something like http:// and then localhost again. And then you can type 1234, that's the default port for LM Studio, and then /v1. So this is the base URL that you must insert into this section. Now, when you're done, you can click Save. And there you go, OpenAI API settings updated. We can go back to the home page, click New Chat, and you can click this, and you'll see there is a new label called External. And as you can see, these are the models from my LM Studio app. So basically, I got the model. Let me just show you once again. So these are the same models. There is Gemma, Jan, Quen, Translate Gemma, and yep, it's the same thing. There is also Translate Gemma, and then there is also Mimo from Xiaomi, Jan, etc. So these models can now be used via the interface of Open WebUI. Maybe let me try one of them. I'm going to try maybe Gemma. Okay, Gemma 1B. Let me try that. Okay, let me just send a message. Hi there. Just wait for it for the model to be loaded. It can be a bit slow. There you go. So this is the model from the external from LM Studio. It is not using Ollama. And of course, you can still use Ollama and LM Studio together in case you want to use that. It's totally available. So that's basically it. That's how you can start chatting with the models from Ollama via the interface of Open WebUI. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on my next video. Have a great day.